Tennessee WildCast is live on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. Welcome to the show. We are in Studio B here in Nashville, Tennessee, and got Mr. Don King, the information chief, with us today.
Good to be here, Jason. I'm feeling a little bit like Doug Markham today.
Yeah,
you're in his seat.
Sitting in the hot seat today. Doug's not with us. He's out to take care of some stuff today, and Don's filling in, so we appreciate you.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Got a lot to talk about today. It's kind of a potluck show. If you've seen the title, TWRA, or what do we title it? Something about a potluck.
Yeah, late spring potluck,
there
I think.
Go.
Yeah.
We've got a smorgasbord of stuff to talk about today, and just want to have fun with the show. And,
all right, good deal, yeah.
Get on with it. But anyway, so starting out, it's fishing season right now, and we're excited about that. There's no hunting seasons open at this moment, but there are plenty of opportunities to be out there fishing. We just passed up Free Fishing Day.
Oh, I know. There were events all over the state, and I know our fisheries guys, we're able to stock a bunch of catfish for a lot of these events across the state. It's an amazing amount of work they do to make these rodeos successful. And, you get a kid out there, and especially if it's their first time, you want them to have some success. You want them to catch something that's exciting, and hopefully get them hooked so that they'll want to do it more.
It was a good weekend. If you follow us on Facebook, and hey, if you're watching on Facebook, thanks for watching the show today. But if you're on our Facebook page, you've seen some posts and some Twitter posts and things like that of the events going on, and kids had a great time, caught a lot of fish. So it's always fun. Free Fishing Day is a blast. And hey, if you don't have your fishing license, make sure you do that. It's a good time to buy. GoOutdoorsTennessee.com is a way to get there, or go to tnwildlife.com or tnwildlife.org and select the link.
That's right. Yep, makes it easy online or with your app. Our TWRA on the go app. It's real easy from there as well. Mm-hmm. That's the way I bought mine this year, and boy, it was smooth.
Makes it easy. And hey, you save it right there on your phone.
Yeah.
Officers can, if they stop you and check your license, you can show it to them on your phone, and that works. So.
But you know what I did this year? I invested in the hard card, the collectible.
Yeah.
So I got that one.
The smallmouth.
The smallmouth. Yeah.
Let's see if I can get. Is that on camera one? You can see part of it.
Yeah,
just right behind us.
A little bit of it there. Ralph McDonald artwork that is looks really cool in my wallet. So, or when it comes out of the wallet, anyway.
I got that as well. So
yeah,
I've got one of the deer and of the smallmouth, or the largemouth. Anyway, so yeah, buy your license if you don't have it already, and get out there and enjoy some fishing and take somebody you love. So. And don't forget to wear that life jacket if you're on a boat.
Boy, that's right.
We're going to talk boats, more boating stuff today, and also we're going to be talking a little bit about how we get the information out to you all, and how to take care of orphan wildlife. That's been a topic on our Facebook. So we'll hit those as we move forward in the show. But something else we wanted to hit on was Carp Madness.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming up pretty soon. And I got a slide I can show you all on the intranet.
And if you're listening on the radio, you can always visit the online version to check out these visuals that we pop up occasionally. Jason's good at switching these things in and out. So.
If you're listening online or on the radio stations out there, then just please visit our website, tnwildlife.org, and you can watch the show there. But we'll try to talk you through it if you're listening. But yeah, there's the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife are hosting their second Carp Madness tournament, and we are part of this and kind of a co-sponsor of this tournament. It's a bow fishing only tournament, June 23rd and 24th. So it's coming up. It's going to be right around the corner. Decent payout there, it looks like, and big fish pot, and only $150 per boat. We're just trying to combat some carp, and this is one way to do it.
Yeah. In recruit some folks to come out and have a good time while they're taking care of the situation.
If you're a bow fisherman, I guess you know, you may already know, but it's a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. tournament. So you're out there in the dark. It's a late night, but it should be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, speaking of carp, a couple weeks ago we did a Facebook Live and held a public meeting up at Paris, Tennessee.
That's true.
And Amy Spencer was able to host the Facebook Live on her phone. She was up there as part of that, and
She's our information girl out in Region 1.
right. She's doing a great job over there. And but we had 200 chairs set up at this public meeting, and an extra 100 people showed up and stood the whole evening, and so I gave up my chair too. So it was a long evening to stand, but we had a good audience, very very well received information. Frank Fiss, our fisheries chief, did a great job talking about the
He always does good.
Asian carp problem up there, and things that anglers can do to help combat that, and some ideas that they've come up with for incentives for folks to commercial fishermen to go out and harvest these things, trying to create a market for them so that they can go harvest them. There's a place to sell them, and so anyway, help the problem and make some good out of maybe lemonade out of lemons, something like that. Yeah,
there you go.
But anyway, Ron Brooks was there too from Kentucky. He had some great insight about what Kentucky's doing, and we're, as you said, this carp tournament is kind of one of the things that we're kind of partnering with them on. So,
yeah, it's we've been working on Asian carp for a long time. So go out on our website, TWRA.org, click over on the fishing area, and you'll see the what we've been doing as far as trying to manage or stop the spread of Asian carp. So something I'm excited about this year is that Elk Raffle.
oh yeah,
I forget. Let's see, 2009 I think it was when we first had our first hunt. So we're almost 9 years in, I guess. Yep. But this year we're raffling off the one of the elk tags, and there's multiple available. You can get through the quota system, but then there's one that we're raffling off, and that's being done through the foundation, and it's doing well so far. And there's still some time. So.
That's right. And the commission early on initiated this elk tag so that it could be either auctioned off or some other form or fashion to create a way to gather some funds, really, to help perpetuate the elk program. And we've shifted from the auction idea to the raffle.
I think it makes it available to many more people.
Exactly.
For $10 you get a chance.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty awesome chance. And then, if you want to spend more than $10, you can increase those opportunities.
Increase your odds, yeah.
But you go to TWRF.net. That's the foundation's website. Scroll down just a little bit and click the elk, and that will take you to the page where you can purchase a raffle ticket or multiple raffle tickets. I also found out this past week that you can purchase a raffle ticket for a friend as long as you specify their email address, or there's some specifics you have to punch in to make sure that it's under their name, because it's non-transferable.
Pretty neat that you can do that for somebody else.
So if you want to do that, that's a great idea. Hey, great Father's Day.
Man, you're talking, yeah, that's right.
If they win. It may not be if they don't. But
and the hunt dates are October 13 through 19 this year. And for this raffle, successful raffle winner, they have rolled out the red carpet. Bass Pro Shops has come on board, sweetening the deal with a new rifle, bolt-action rifle, and a
nice
scope.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not only just the hunt, but also I think they really want this hunter to be successful in harvesting an elk, and so I think after that first 7 days, if they aren't successful, there's some kind of fallback opportunities there for this special hunt,
right? So
that they can get an extra 7 days. And so anyway, you can read up all about that on the TWRF website. TWRF.net.
There you go. Also, speaking of elk,
Org or net? I always
net.
get that confused.
I'm
Is
pretty
it
sure
net?
it's net. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
TWRF.net. But yes, and then speaking about elk, the elk camp's still out there. Go check it out.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen turkey on there and all kinds of wildlife. So go check out the elk camp, tnwildlife.org. And that's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, kudos to you for going up there and kind of helping, making sure that got in place and the camera was in the right area,
in the right angle,
all that kind of stuff.
It was fun, and it's a cool experience and a great thing to provide the sportsmen of Tennessee and the wildlife watchers of Tennessee. They can go and enjoy the elk anytime they want to.
Yeah, what was really neat was that the pictures you sent back the day you guys were doing it, where the elk were actually out there watching you.
Hey, they were curious of what we were doing, so they checking us out and making sure we're installing that camera right. Get my best angle, I think.
Yeah. And that camera, I tell you, is inspiration for a family weekend trip to go take, load everybody up, take the drive up there and walk. It's a pretty good hike once you get to the parking area, but well worth it. And it's it's an easy walk, but yet you can't just drive up to it. You're out in the wild, so it's a neat deal to get there and get up in the viewing stand and just be quiet and take pictures and enjoy the sights.
All right, one more thing before we get into the main topics for today, or a couple more things, I guess. Just the Weekend for Wildlife is coming up in October. That's a fundraising event for the foundation, and if you want to get involved with that, just visit twrf.net as well and check out links from there to that, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Robin Hill has been very successful in Georgia doing a similar event. They call it Weekend for Wildlife there, and we call ours Wild by Nature. And but this will be the first year that we've implemented it.
Wild by Nature.
And in Georgia, they raise money for non-game species. And our efforts here will be a little bit more focused on getting young folks outdoors, creating opportunities, creating more folks that really appreciate getting out there, as well as helping with some of those areas that, when we sell a license and we're able to help manage wildlife, this will help in some of those areas where we can't use license dollars, but we can raise money to help with these other species.
And if you want to learn about what we're doing and how we're doing it, our email newsletter is a great way to do that.
Oh, man, yeah.
I'll show y'all how easy. You just have to go to our homepage, tnwildlife.org, scroll up, and to the bottom, it says Stay Connected there at the bottom. It's the first link under Stay Connected. You can click that and edit, update, or initial sign up to our email newsletter and stay connected with what we're doing. We're sending out emails periodically. We're not spamming you. We're not bombarding your inbox. We're sending out stuff we feel like you just need to know about. And
the good thing is, too, you can decide what kinds of stuff you want to get from us.
That's true.
If you're only interested in bird watching, we can put you in the bird watching list.
Yep.
Or if you're interested in fishing only and you don't want to get anything other than that, we can certainly accommodate that too. Or if you just want to get everything, click the one button will highlight all the topics and you'll get all of them. But like Jason said, even though you get everything from us, we're not gonna bombard you to the point where you're gonna say, "Oh man, I can't stand this anymore."
That's right. All right. So moving on to our main topics for today. Initially, we want to talk about radio a little bit, and that's a great outlet for us to get information out, and we're excited about WZYX and what they're doing out there in Cowan, Tennessee. The Eagle Radio.
The Eagle Radio.
There you go. They're a great partner, and they've started running the Tennessee WildCast on their radio show on Saturday morning. So if you're listening right now, you can listen again on Saturday. This show, if you're listening online today, but.
Yeah, at 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
6 to 6:30, we're on there. So.
And so that's a great thing. And there's other stations that are interested in. And if you're a radio station out there and you're interested in having our show on there, please contact us here at the agency, and we'll be glad to work with you and try to figure out a way to get us out there on that station. But radio is a great way for us to reach the audiences. And then there's a couple of radio shows out there that are always helping us out and promoting us. And
yeah, the neat thing about radio to me is, hey, you can have that on. I've always got the radio on in my car. I never drive in silence. You know, I'm always trying to learn something or be entertained, listen to music, whatever, talk, or you know, outdoor shows are always a lot of fun. And you know, for years, Doug Markham had his show in town from 5 to 7 on Saturday mornings. I got up an early Saturday morning and joined him.
I got to be on his show once.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were on there many times.
Yeah, the what was it? Sportsman's Drive Time. I think that's what Doug dubbed it, and I loved that. But he was a staple on Nashville radio for many years, and that's kind of what helped spur this effort too. I think within the agency. So. Yeah, one of our commissioners, Tony Sanders, has a radio show in the Chattanooga area, and I'm sure we spill over a lot with the Eagle Radio in Cowan. So some of our listeners there were probably very familiar with Tony's show. But anyway, he's been doing his for over 10 years now. And in 2010, he was named Conservation Communicator of the Year by the TWF, Tennessee Wildlife Federation. And he's on Saturday mornings, too, from 5 to 7. Now, that's Eastern time. And I think they kind of bill that as the electronic campfire. So they do call-ins and stuff on his show. And I love their tagline, the fusion of outdoor information, education, and entertainment. So,
wow,
kind of says it all.
I like that. And then Larry Ray, he's out in West Tennessee. He's got a show going, and we've been on there many, many times, and he's a big supporter of the agency, and that's another great outlet for us out there. So
yeah, that's on WMC 790 in Memphis area, and AM 1520 and 95.3 in Brownsville, Tennessee, and it also airs. And that's from 6 to 6:30 on Saturday mornings. And it airs a half hour later in Jackson, Tennessee, on 101.5 FM. And anyway, Larry, he's been on the air nearly 20 years now.
Long time.
I think he celebrated his 20th year on the air this year. And of course, Larry's been around writing about the outdoors and talking it up for his whole career, pretty much. He was the outdoor writer for the Memphis paper, the Commercial Appeal, and so anyway, he's a good friend of the agency, and we're glad he's out there on the radio.
And we produce a lot of PSAs, public service announcements here at the agency, and try to get those out on the stations. And we're grateful for the folks that run those, just to help educate the people driving around in their car or listening to the radio at the office or whatever they're doing. But some recent PSAs that Don's cut and put together are some boating spots, and we're going to transition into some boating stuff right now.
Yeah.
You're talking about some of the creative ideas that's come up in your PSAs, or some of the ideas that gave you some verbiage for those, and Betsy's been pushing this a lot as the float plan, or is that what you call it?
Yeah, well, it kind of, when we were up in Paris, I went and visited the local radio station there, WMUF, and the wildlife officer up there had cut a spot, and it had to do with this subject matter, and I thought, man, that is a great idea. We hadn't done a spot like this, but what a great message to get out there. And so I just got to thinking about it, and I thought, you hear people talking about in the airline industry, they file a flight plan, if you're going to fly somewhere. It's just so that folks know when you're leaving, when you're expected to get there, and kind of what your route's going to be.
Right.
Well, hey, why not have a float plan
yeah.
for boaters, or especially anglers, guys that might be going out by themselves or with a buddy and doing a day of fishing, they need to let somebody know, their wife, their family, a friend, hey, I'm leaving at 6 in the morning. I'm due. I'm due back, 6, 7 o'clock at night, but here's where I'm going.
Right.
And
that works for a hunting plan too. I mean,
exactly.
I'm going in the woods. I'm going to be in this area roughly, and in a tree stand here. And if I don't come home, come looking for me.
Right, because if something happens, there's an emergency, whatever, and you're not back, at least they know where to come start.
Start the search.
Start looking for you, and try to figure out if do you need help, what's going on. So
And there's already been a few accidents this year. A few people drown and things like that, and we want to try to stop all that.
That's right.
Try to fix those problems. So we don't want to lose people on the water, but it's things that we have to deal with every day, or at least our officers do.
Yeah. And then we've got the standbys, wear your life jacket. Well, with the inflatables, man, you got no excuse not to wear that thing.
No excuse. And if you have an inflatable, you have to wear it. It doesn't count as a jacket. I did learn that there are a few inflatables that count if you don't have them on, but just put it on.
Yeah.
And leave it on.
Especially the guys they're out there fishing, by themselves or with the buddy, whatever. I've talked to Betsy many times about this. Betsy Woods, our information person for the boating side, and she said there's just so many times that a guy will go out there and you got your trolling motor on, you're standing on the front of the boat and you hit, something happens, you lose your balance, and go in the water,
right?
Even if you think it's not deep enough or it's shallow water, whatever. It's sometimes that struggle to get back in the boat is just beyond what a guy can do. And
even in a kayak and things, you think, it'll be easy to get back in, but sometimes you're not touching,
right.
or something. So it's difficult. If you're not on the edge somewhere, it's going to be difficult to get back in that boat. So I'm pulling up the website just a little bit so you can see at home the education part of the website. We're always trying to educate the public and make sure they're aware of everything going on out there on the water. And there's a lot of education, a lot of boater education courses being updated on the website all the time. We're hosting these classes, or they're either at a library, et cetera, different places you can take the classes, and that's real easy to find on our website. And I've got it pulled up here, the education page. But if you go to our website, go under boating, and then basic safety education, register your boat, the handbook's there. So all that information and more is right there on the boating page. And you can check out those courses, exam locations, and course options are right there under boating education in Tennessee. So you can click the different region and see which ones are available for you to attend.
And that was the third PSA we did, one about boater education.
Okay,
so
there you go.
Anyway, it all ties back in. But and it's kind of like the driver's test. You can get the book, you get the materials to study, go home, study it, and then just go to the designated places where they have the proctored tests, where they have somebody that can administer the test and get you certified. And so anybody born after January 1, 1989 is in need of that before you can operate a boat.
That's right.
On Tennessee waters. So a lot of people are grandfathered in. Of course, I'm way older than that, so I didn't have to take the test or the boating course per se, but there's so much good information in there, even for seasoned boaters.
It doesn't hurt.
Feel like, man, I've been doing this for years. I don't need the class, but there's a lot of really good info in there that.
Well, just go get the handbook and read through it.
Yep.
I mean, if you don't want to take the course and you're exempt from it, just go get the handbook, read through it, and kind of freshen up. And
rules of the road, and all those
exactly.
Basics.
Exactly.
Just
if you didn't grow up on the water, there's some things you probably don't know, or and that would help.
Sure.
Even the class would help. One more thing before we have to wrap up. I wanted to hit on rehabilitators. We get a lot of calls. I've got an injured deer or orphaned deer or any type of wildlife. This year, it's mainly deer that folks are finding orphaned or they think it's orphaned. And we did a post on our Facebook here recently hitting some of the topics on that. So go read that. But if you find an injured or orphaned animal, please get it to a rehabilitator. That's the best option you could do, or just leave it alone. If it may not be orphaned, mama's probably close. Leave it alone first.
Yeah.
And then if you find out, it truly is orphaned or it's it's mama's hurt or it's mama's laying on the side of the road, then yeah, you might want to call a rehabilitator and get it to
But
somebody that
9
gets on it.
times out of 10, that
Yes.
mama is going to be right around the corner, just probably watching you.
Exactly.
While you're looking at her youngin.
Is there a better odd than 9 times out of 10? Because it's probably more than 9 times out of 10.
Probably right.
But let me show you. If you go to our homepage and click or go to the law enforcement tab, slide down to wildlife rehabilitators and educators, that'll take you to the page. And then all you have to do is click on the center tab there, and there's your list for region 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So if it's not hurt, leave it alone. But then if you find out that it needs help, that's who you call. We get a lot of questions on Facebook about that all the time. I found this, I found that. And,
yeah.
And sometimes that happens, but that's where you go to make sure it gets in the right hands.
Yep, that's right. And they're permitted and licensed they know what to do with these the goal is to get them right back to where they back in the wild.
You don't want to humanize them. You want to keep them wild.
Yep.
And if you're interested in becoming a rehabilitator or an educator, there's information on that page as well for that.
Good.
So some folks are interested in that and want to be a part. So that is that. I think that covers just about everything that we wanted to cover today, and I'm sure we've missed some or could hit more, but I think it was a good show.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add before we close?
Tennessee Outdoors Youth Summit is coming up in July. They are booked up, so this is going to be short, but hey, make plans. If you got a high school age kid that is interested at all in learning more about the outdoors, it's an awesome experience. I highly recommend it, but make plans for 2019 because they are booked this year.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the folks on Facebook. I see we had quite a bit of activity out there, and we'll try to get to some of your comments. And if you had questions, we'll try to answer those. To just try to answer those for you. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're on the radio there, the Eagle Radio in Cowan, thanks for listening there. Thanks for listening on iTunes if you're catching us there. So
thanks for pushing all the buttons, Jason.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome.
All righty.
So we'll see you all next time on Tennessee WildCast.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.